Welcome back, everyone. The Philadelphia 76ers have now taken a 3-0 lead over the Toronto Raptors, and one of the main storylines of that matchup happens to be the differentiation in foul calls, which is probably not that hard to believe when you remember that Joel Embiid and James Harden are involved, both of whom are regarded as two of the most difficult players to officiate. Not only are they practically unguardable at times, but they know how to put themselves in a great position to get foul calls. However, some people believe that they often take it too far, and some might even say that they are manipulating the game. Is that really true though, or are we simply overreacting to how good they are at drawing fouls? Well, if one person believes that's true, it would have to be Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse.
I told him, respectfully, told him to stop about calls.
Well, he was saying to me that I'm going to keep making all the free throws if you keep fouling me, and I said, yeah, well, you might have to. Good player, man. Got a lot of respect for him. He's certainly playing great here. There's nothing there, but us trying to compete against him and him trying to compete against us.
And to be completely honest, I cannot fully disagree with him. I do not envy any coach who has to game plan against either one of Joel Embiid nor James Harden, let alone having to game plan against both of them. And if you are wondering if that has directly led to Embiid and Harden getting more foul calls than the Toronto Raptors, then yes, it kind of has. They may have only went to the free throw line a combined 14 times during Game 3, but they're still number 1 and number 4 in total free throw attempts during the playoffs. And not only that, but even as an entire team, they lead the playoffs in total free throw attempts by a fairly wide margin. Now, obviously not every team has played 3 total playoff games yet, which has a big effect on that, but it's very clear that Philly tends to draw more fouls than other teams. But again, is that truly a sign of manipulation though? Well, that will probably depend on who you ask, but in my opinion, a lot of it is simply with Embiid and Harden knowing the correct way to initiate contact. A lot of NBA players tend to look awkward when trying to draw a foul, and they don't really know how to sell it correctly, but Joel Embiid and James Harden are masters of that craft. Even during a slow motion replay, it can often be hard to tell if they were truly fouled by a defender, or if they were the one who initiated the contact and just put the defender in an awkward position. And that to me is simply a part of today's game. Now, I would agree that they take it too far at times, which I definitely do not like, but the manipulation that they have been doing up until this point has primarily been fair game. It's not like it has made them unbeatable either. The Toronto Raptors had plenty of opportunities to win Game 3, and they simply were not able to do it. I mean, you can maybe make an argument for foul calls affecting Game 2 and putting the Raptors down early, but the outcome of Game 3 did not come down to Philly getting more foul calls, or even with Embiid and Harden in particular getting more foul calls compared to others. Even if you want to point out a few ticky-tack fouls that they have drawn up until this point, that has not been a deciding factor in round 1. And believe it or not, all of this is coming from a guy who has been rooting for the Toronto Raptors. I have personally been watching for manipulation by Embiid and Harden, but up until 3 games, I have not seen anything that's truly worth getting mad over. Now, could that potentially change during later rounds? Yes, it could, but to be honest, they would be digging their own graves if they chose to go that route. When it really comes down to it during the conference finals and eventually NBA finals, the ticky-tack fouls become fewer and far between. At that point, referees often let the game become more physical and let players compete down the stretch, and they rarely give the benefit of the doubt to anyone trying to manipulate foul calls. I am very curious to watch how Embiid and Harden would adjust to that should they get to that point, and like I mentioned before, they have not really been relying on foul call manipulation yet, but we do know that they have resorted to doing that in the past. With all of that being said though, that will conclude my brief thoughts on if Philly, along with Joel Embiid and James Harden in particular, have been manipulating the game. And what do you guys think? Do you believe that they have been taking advantage of how the game has been called during round 1? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. But before you go, I would like to invite you to join the official Discord for the channel. If you like having NBA debates and discussion with others in real time, being updated on NBA news, or even being able to chat with me, then you really should think about joining. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to everyone who took the time to watch until the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.